What will be the next major health risk that will be after cardiovascular events and diabetes? It is neurological disorder. It involves depression, it involves epilepsy, and also memory loss called amnesia. You have autism, you have dissociated identity disorder, you have stroke, dementia, and more serious, you go into Alzheimer, Parkinson's, and schizophrenia. Now, there are about 4 trillion cells in our human body, and 100 billion or so are neurons. What happens when you find some of these nerve cells start dying off? To give you a background, our nervous system encompasses 2 segments. One is the central nervous system, which encompasses the brain and the spinal cord. The other one is called the peripheral nervous system, which helps in terms of another area called the voluntary control that you have full control of, and the other one which are the autonomous nervous system, where you do not have control, like for your heartbeat, your heart rate, and your digestive system. All these are involuntary. To know what the incidence and the cost of treatment is, to give you an idea, dementia costs globally the economy of about $1 trillion, and estimated about 1 billion people, or every 1 in 7 worldwide, is having this condition. What Singapore researchers found in 2013, that every person with dementia, the person itself, the family, and the society support have to pay additional 10.2k annually versus a person without a condition itself. And in 2013, about 40,000 dementia cases were diagnosed. That's official numbers. It is projected to reach 53,000 by this year, 2021. In 30 years' time, the number goes up exponentially to about 187,000 cases. So in bigger ASEAN countries around us, like the Philippines, Indonesia, or Japan, the population correlation is so huge, it will have a bigger number in each country versus what you are seeing now. What is considered not dementia? Some people will say normal aging, well, becoming forgetful, and poor concentration, I can't remember. Now, this is not dementia. People will say, oh, I have a loss of memory, I can't remember my car keys, I can't remember where my house keys are. That is also considered not dementia in clinical sense. What is then dementia involves? It involves a slow brain disorder. It is the loss of intellectual abilities such as the thinking, remembering, a reasoning out in the area whereby it interferes with your daily function. By itself, thinking and remembering is not a disease, but rather more of a group of symptoms that will accompany it. Then it is considered a good suspect case of dementia. And dementia is an illness which affects the brain, causing cells to die faster at a faster rate, and leading to failing memory, reduced intellectual function. The most of all that it will impact is the changes in personality. Now, dementia may not be part of normal aging. Why do I say that? Because you look at Einstein. At his age, how he does in his invention, the things and the scientific things that he does. And also you look at another example, our late founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. At the age 1 year before he was into his ICU for pneumonia, they were inviting him for talks, and they are looking and asking him about events, about time, on the places, and the description of what happened. He's so clear in terms of his answer, in terms of his content. Now, you call that dementia coming with age? No, it's not. So, what leads actually to dementia? It is the type of nutrition that we will have going into our gut system. Second thing is the genetic factor through parents, through your grandparents, your family tree, etc. Third is your immune system that will play a part. Fourth, it is your aging status, where you are at your aging time. Now, what are the signs and symptoms that you will encounter in dementia? Firstly, you may say, often you will see, only forgetting the details, but not only that, it's the whole entire event. For example, you have taken your dinner, yes, but an hour later, you ask, when is dinner gonna start? So another sign and symptom is losing to perform the ability of your daily activities like dressing up, eating, even bathing. So the normal daily activities, the ADLs, they call it for short, will be impacted. And one will become more restless, agitated, and sometimes more irritable. The next symptom that comes along is losing the ability to make decisions. Signs that comes along is a gradual losing of their sense of time and place. Losing their way around in a familiar neighborhood. If you go to a supermarket, you have a hard time trying to look for it. And when you come back, you have a daunting time trying to find where you stay. So also becoming less communicative, because when you experience all this, one become more reclusive and may even go into depression. On the contrary, you have other people having symptoms become more aggressive. They will find a weapon and they'll go after you. So you have different signs and symptoms. So the onset of dementia, in other words, is so gradual, and it can start from way back 10 to 15 years ago, so you will miss that early signs. However, in severe dementia, the person may not even recognize you. Family members and your friends totally a stranger to you. The person having dementia will be totally dependent on the full 10 ADLs, the activities of daily living, and then it will be more dependent on those around them. The last common type of dementia I will go on is Parkinson's disease. Now, the symptoms of Parkinson's, you can see it very clear, are the limbs that either it's having tremor, which is shaking, or you have limbs which are a bit more rigid, it is not so flexible. They will report certain visual hallucination, and you're going to see some of them having balancing problems. Now, more than 10 million people worldwide are now living with Parkinson's disease, and the incidence increases with age. And an estimation of about 4% of Parkinson's disease are even diagnosed before the age of 50. Men, unfortunately, are 1.5 times more likely to have Parkinson's than women. There is one documentation well calculated in the US talking about medication alone, which can cost about an average of $2,500 more USD a year. So, how to better sharpen our brain? It is few basic things. One is you need to have the right nutrition. Taking away what we need after we have the right nutrition is also important. In other words, having the right nutrition and taking away the waste products to have a good brain detox. And how to sharpen our brain further is to have a high concentration of extracts, of pure ingredients, which gives you the optimal amount for vital function of our nervous system. The next is normalizing metabolism of the digestive system. Means that it converts food into energy and proteins, and then eliminate the metabolic waste. That means when you take in something, whatever you take in, you need to get rid of it. If not, you're going to have problem disorder in your intestine. So to have a metabolic disorder means the accumulation more and more of the waste that will lead to brain disorder. To sharpen our brain, one of the solutions is using food as medicine, and the natural nutrition which helps improve our neural responses. The next thing I want to talk to you is about genetic factor. We inherit both good genes and bad, unfortunately or fortunately, but they express differently. The good will express differently from the bad, and it can affect part or the whole nervous system, which is the headquarters of the whole body control function. What is a normal function? The normal function genetically is certain enzymes are produced, and to help keep the brain in good working order by getting rid of the waste. That is called neurodetox. At certain point in time, it may not be present. The third thing I want to have you understand is the immune system and the immune status that you have. In our lifetime, there are causes of infection, many causes of infection that you'll go through. There will be many unhealthy lifestyle that you will have along the way. At the same time, you're exposed to many other environmental exposure of undesirable things. And all these can affect the immune system, and all these can affect the neural system, and these accumulates into neuro disorder. The next thing is when we age, our immune system also ages. When we age, the immune system the nerve has a protection, and the nerve protector will be deteriorated. And when the nerve protection deteriorates, it cannot protect the cells. So without nerve protection, that leads to neuroinflammation, which will trigger the whole system they call the immune system in the body. And what does it do? It basically, just imagine certain part of our brain tissue gets inflamed, and then your own immune system from the rest of the body comes up and is triggered, and now they say we have to get rid of the inflammation, and the immune system will go and start attacking our brain neural cells to get rid of this excessive inflammation, which cannot be detoxed out. So the immune status therefore is so important to stay away from both dementia and Parkinson's. So you have to first detox the brain. 2, you always have to remain the immune balance in proper order, so that to starve off or to have neuroinflammation reduced or minimized as much as possible. A well-proven fact is that our gut is responsible for 70% of our body's immune system. It is proven in all medical schools, dietary schools, and is practiced in all ICU, and it's a known fact that our gut system controls our immune system. So to have a good gut system means from the stomach down to our whole small intestine to our large intestine is important. Why so? Because with that you have a bush and the meshing that is not being disturbed inside our gut lining, and so bacteria will not get through. And if bacteria gets through, what happens? It goes into our bloodstream, it goes into our nervous system, it goes into our brain, and it goes into affect our brain neurons. So all moves in a cycle. So in other words, a good gut system you have also a good healthy brain. To protect our gut, there are many areas that you can do, but one of the main things is to help enrich our gut with the right kind of nutrition. In my next video, I'll cover how to protect our gut so that we could protect our whole system of our body, including the brain. The fourth point I would want you to understand is the aging status. Less nerve protection will come in as we age, and we have less protection means the more our nerve degenerates. And when our nerve degenerates, the more of our body functions of different parts will also decline. Worse, you can see will be in Parkinson's disease, which means the brain is aging. Now, how to delay degeneration of cells and cell death, which means to say how to delay your aging? By growing more regenerative cells to multiply and regenerate to give you that impetus to replace the cells that are damaged.
Oh my.
There is a food supplement that can be a game changer to help mitigate the neurological disorders that we highlighted. And this is called NGF+. What is NGF+? It is a natural growth factor which is have high premium concentration of bird nest extract, and it stimulates the production of nerve growth factors, which nourishes the brain, the nerve cells, and regulate and enhance the immune system. It enhances the memory and prevent neurodegeneration, diseases of dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. And it's also perfect for chronic diseases and all viral infections that affects the nervous system. Now, when you hear premium bird nest extract, what is so different between bird nest and a premium extract? A premium extract is when you extract out the pure essence, and versus one which is a produce which you get it from the store or procure it from somewhere else. It is the hygiene that is concerned, the processing method, and also in terms of the contents, whether the purity. Now, when you have premium bird nest extract, it is something which is of high essence of extraction using biotechnology, and it's also very well controlled in the environment of extraction. That means all hygienes and proper temperature control is all observed. And when they extract out, it is just the main essence and the premium. It is different from what you can get from the shop or anywhere else. And with this premium extract, is able to be done in a capsule form and packaged in the box, which is so convenient. The main thing is we need to have enough of the concentration. That's the main gist of it. Why do I say that? Because the concentration which is right versus a range of research products from milk to chicken essence and quail's egg and infant formula, we found that premium bird nest has the highest amino acid content. Now, the essential amino acid is so high and is so easily extractable in its purest form that it can be encapsulated. And with this encapsulation, together with a few more ingredients that you need to enhance to help in terms of the growth factor in the brain nourishment of the cells, you have purple chokeberry. And the purple chokeberry is more for the improving of the metabolic rate and the proper metabolism of the digestive system. It helps in the anti-inflammatory. You have also sage extract. It helps to reduce digestive problems and improve your metabolic system. It also, when you have the improvement of the metabolic system, you have the regeneration of nerve cells. Now you have another ingredient called bacopa. Bacopa is help memory enhancement and has a calming effect. It is anti-inflammatory. It also reduces the aging process of the immune system, and it regenerates nerves. There is another interesting product the Japanese are using in their normal food products. It's called nitrokinase. Nitrokinase reduces the blood clots, prevent hearts and stroke, and it is anti-inflammatory. You have one more item. The fifth item that comes in together in NGF Plus is called beta-glucan. Now, beta-glucan has been well studied and is in many pharmaceutical ingredients to help protect diabetes-related complications. And it's inside here to also help in the anti-inflammatory and to reduce the immune aging system, at the same time improve the metabolic system in our digestive tract. So NGF Plus, in other words, is the solution to nourish our nerve cells and slow down the brain cell decline. Produces the brain detoxification enzyme so that it reduces the toxins in the brain, regenerate more nerve cells, and grow and multiply. They call it proliferation, so as to overcome other diseases of the nerves and do other tissue repair, which is important. It brings back those non-working mature cells, which they call mature cells, they call differentiated cells, into the cell cycle to begin regeneration of the whole process like a normal working cell. Now, to understand that, this improves the conditions of stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, and further slow down the aging brain degeneration, what we call aging. Now, what is this cell cycle which I'm talking about? This cell cycle moves from normal proliferation cells into we are able to regenerate and multiply, and all goes through the whole cycle, and then it multiplies again and again and again. Now, what happens when it is not functioning well? You can say that the old cells start to degrade and they cannot multiply and they cannot regenerate. And what happens? It will start to leave the cell cycle. When you have something that is producing well and it leaves the cell cycle, you have lesser cells production and you have lesser nerve production, and that is where your brain start to degenerate, because you need the new nerve cells to replace the old nerve cells. Now, what you have in NGF when you take it is that it begins to bring those non-working old mature nerve cells into the cycle again and start reproduction. That means it's telling the nerve cell, okay, you are now able to regenerate, and now you're able to reproduce, and now you're able to multiply, and now you're able to nourish the brain again. There is a chart that shows in a simplified way of mentioning, all right, on the top of the chart whereby it's light green and then there's a dark green, and it tells you simply that the results are as good as the gold standard of medical growing of new nerve cells, the number of nerve cells that can be grown using NGF+. You see the next chart is on the bottom, where you have the cells growing versus the mature cells faster, at a rate which is faster, with NGF as good as the gold standard or even the same or better at some of the research that they have done. So how to start NGF+? You have the first week 1 capsule a day so that your body can adapt well, and then on the second week onwards you take 1 to 2 capsules a day, all right, and going forward to maintain at that rate, not more than 4 capsules a day. Now, why you ask me, well, why not 4 capsules more than that? It's because when you have more than a certain amount, the body get rid of it. So no point wasting too much of good stuff. So just maintain not more than 4. Remember, your takeaways for NGF+, what has been highlighted? The premium quality of the bird nest extract with 5 other nutritional extracts for growth of our nerve cells and to nourish our nerve cells. Second thing, genetic. You are not limited by your genetics, because NGF can circumvent that and nourish the nerve cell and to help get rid of the brain detox formulation fast. Next thing is the immune status. So with your immune status not working well, NGF+ able to stimulate and nourish and regrow that portion that is not able to move well, and your aging status that comes in, you are able to start reproducing the nerve cell, and that will give you a good brain detox and at the same time increase your nerve cell regeneration. Hope this information is useful to you to sharpen your brain and start experiencing the quality of life with your family. I have my details of contact here below, you can see it. So feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you and see you again soon.